Okay, just got home, kind of late. But two things that happened that I wanted to talk about before I went to bed. Um, the first is about Christmas trees. My friend Beth and I went over to my friend Adam's house and we parked. And when we got out, there were two Christmas trees on the side of the like on the side of the sidewalk. I don't know. Anyway, I think they were out to get picked up to be recycled. And I just kind of touched the trunk of the one with my hand, and I don't know, just kind of felt its vibes and kind of like silently thanked it for, I don't know, sacrificing itself for nothing really. For most of my life, I've been a strong traditionalist about Christmas trees. That, you know, if you're going to have a Christmas tree, you should have a live tree, a real tree. And primarily the reason for that is, to me, the idea is if you're going to have a Christmas tree, you should, you know, go through the effort of doing the work of having a real tree. That is, you know, your excuse for not having a real tree shouldn't be that, oh, well, they're too messy. There's too many needles. I don't want to have to water it. I'm chicken and I'm afraid it's going to burn my house down. They're too expensive. All this stuff, you know. My point was kind of like, well, it's freaking Christmas. Like, balls out and, like, buy a real tree, you know? This isn't the time to skimp, you know? Like, do the right thing and, like, have a real tree, you know? I don't know. That was just my thing. Like, put out the effort, you know? One other time of year, like, do you have the opportunity to do this? But now, it bothers me that, you know, people do it in that, like, I look at all those trees all over the place when I go, you know, I'm driving or taking public transportation places, and I just see all these lots and yards, all of these trees, and I'm just like, what a waste. What a waste of life. You know, these trees are alive, and we cut them down and they're dead, and for what? For our own ornamental pleasure, for our own, you know, just for our own whimsy and for our own desires. And it bothers me. And the fact of the matter is, it's still alive. When you put it in a tree stand, you do water it. You water it, and it draws up water. And, you know, the sap still runs. I touched the tree, and I pulled my hand away, and I had sticky residue, and it smelled like pine. I don't know, that just bothers me. Unrelatedly, I had gone to Wendy's, and I had bought a couple double stacks, and one of them I didn't finish, and I left it in the bag, and I brought it up to Adam's, and I looked, and the bag had ripped open, and it had gotten wet and ripped open, and the second double stack wasn't in there. And I was bummed, and I was like, well, it's in the car, I'm sure. So when we got to the car, I looked on the bottom of the floor where I had been sitting, and there was no double stack there, and I was kind of like, shit, I'm sure it fell out somewhere in the street. Oh well, I guess I'm not going to get to eat that second double stack. But I thought, you know what, I'm just going to, like, look around outside of the car, and I kind of spied around, and sure as shit, there was that second double stack. And I was like, damn, that's awesome. So I picked it up, and I brought it in the car, and I took a bite, and I wasn't sure. I thought maybe, you know, it would be sufficiently cold. I didn't know how cold it would or wouldn't be, and I took a bite, and it was fairly frozen. But I also was fairly hungry. And you know, the thing is that kind of drives me crazy is when I go home to visit my parents, sometimes there'll be leftovers of this or that, and my mom will get all, like, weird and paranoid, and I'll warm it up, and she'll be like, is it okay? Is it okay? Is it warm enough? I'm like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. And maybe whatever I warmed up, you know, mashed potatoes or corn or whatever, it probably could be warmer, but it's fine, it's good enough, and I'm hungry, and I don't want to put it back in for another 10 seconds or 20 seconds or 30 seconds. It's warm. It'll make do. And I'll be like, yeah, it's warm. It's fine. Whatever. It'll make do. And my mom will be like, oh, Joss, how can you even eat that stuff? You know, how can you not, how can you eat cold mashed potatoes? And I'm trying to tell her, like, Ma, I just don't care that much. I'm hungry. It's fine. And here I am gnawing on this already cold, to say the least, like not fresh, double stack from Wendy's. And now I'm eating it, and it's fucking frozen. It's a frozen brick of double stack. How fucking disgusting is this? And I take like 2 bites, maybe 3, and I just look at it and I'm like, I explain what I just explained to you. I'm like, can you believe this? Like, can you believe I'm eating this right now? I'm a nutcase. So I stopped and wrapped it up, and I brought it home and put it in the fridge. I will have to, like, throw that bad boy in the microwave. But, just like, dude, I don't know what I'm thinking half the time. So anyway, that's it. Christmas trees and Wendy's. What are you gonna do? I gotta hit the hay. I'm pretty tired. Okay.